That's my thumbnail, y'all. Hold on. We got to get a good thumbnail. Yes. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. This is yours truly, Kay, aka Khalif. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So excited to be back this evening. And I hope you all have been enjoying the latest videos I've been dropping. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's the only way to keep this channel going. Yeah, and honestly, my last video, I received some good feedback from people, so I'm super, super excited. And yeah, I'm excited to be back. Follow me on Instagram at Kaleef Now. That's KALEEFNOW. And also on Twitter at Kaleef Now. That's KALEEFNOW. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super, 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 super excited to be back. Like, I've been itching to record. Sorry if I come across as a little nervous, but it's excitement. It's excitement. It's excitement. It's excitement. So welcome back. Today, I want to do a quick, cute album review for Chloe Bailey's new project. And just, discuss Chloe Bailey, Chloe, and who she is as a artist and where she is and what I see from Chloe outside of the typical commentary that she and criticism that she often receives. So, let's see. We're gonna start with her debut album. Her debut album is called In Pieces, and it came out last Friday. And I've been listening to it and just letting it marinate on me as an album, as a project, and firstly, I will say that I'm really, really proud. Got the stutters tonight. I'm super, super proud of Chloe for sticking it through, and I'm not just saying that because of her association with Beyonce. I'm not just saying that because of that, because I think a lot of times if you are a fan of Beyonce or Chloe or anyone affiliated with her, a lot of people always think that we are not able to critique, right? Because we are fans or we are supporters. So, as with any other artist, I'm going to try to be as fair as possible because I enjoy music. I love music. Music is fun to me. I am a music head. I do listen to a lot of female artists, particularly. Yeah, so I love my girls. I love my female artists. So I'm excited actually to do Chloe's album review because I've been waiting on her project. I've been itching to see how she sounds by herself and just see how she is alone as a solo artist. So for me, I've been really looking forward to Chloe, right along with a few other girls, such as Normani, who we still unfortunately have not gotten an album as of yet, but I'm still keeping my fingers crossed because I really think Normani has a lot to bring to the table, but potentially she's probably dealing with some politics and things of that nature. With the music industry, probably something going on with the label. We don't know because we don't ever hear what is going on with her in particular. But this is about Chloe tonight. So her debut album is called In Pieces, and for me, I jotted down a few things because I've been listening to the album and just letting it marinate on me without listening to other people's criticism of Chloe because oftentimes what I see is people just saying, oh, she just doesn't have it. Her music is not good. Her music is not this. Who's her core audience? Who's this? Who's that? And a lot of people are just really, in my opinion, I do think that Chloe's artistry, as any artist, is up for debate, right? It's up for critique. Forgive me if I sneeze, y'all. I do have allergies really, really bad. I honestly think it's the candle that I have lit back here because it's really windy in SoCal right now. Sorry for that. I'm a mess. But my allergies have been like really kicking my ass, okay? So, excuse me for me trying to get myself together. Okay, so track one. Well, let's get back to the criticism. Hold on. So Chloe, I do think that she receives a lot of criticism of people. In my opinion, some of it is valid, right? But also too, I also think that people purposely pick her apart the way that they do because of her affiliation with Beyonce. That's just what I think. And I think there's certain things about Chloe that trigger people as they break her apart. I think there are certain things about her, maybe her looks, maybe her hair. Just when I look at her as a black woman, and just her expression of artistry and how she carries herself and things like that, I can understand why I how can I think Chloe is very vulnerable, and I think that when people see that as well, they just go in. Like, I think, for example, like the few times that she went viral over the last few years for the Busted Challenge and things like that, I think that the way that she gets dragged in particular, I think people saw that it really got to her and it really affected her as well. So I think that's another reason why people just kind of take that as a way to, like, let me just keep like criticizing this girl. And also too, people search for imperfection in everything. When you release music, sorry y'all, I'm a mess. When you release music, or when you are any type of public figure, or you are putting out something that's artistic, or putting out something, there will be people who will not always align, or they just won't get it, or they just won't get you. So, and that's for all of us, literally for everyone. I mean, I did a video talking about what I'm learning from YouTube so far, the good and the bad, and how I'm having to accept that I'm not an artist, I'm not a singer, but I am a creative in a way, and I am a creative actually. I do the podcast. I've been doing it for so long, and I even have to be like, you know what, look, sis, you gotta just do you, because people are always going to pick you apart. People are gonna pick apart how I talk, because it's coming from me. You know what I mean? So people look at people like myself, or women like myself. So it comes with it. Anyways, enough of my rant. Let's get into Chloe. So the first note I want to note before we get into the actual track one, I will say that I think people are expecting more of a contrived and controlled sound from Chloe, and also expecting her former image. So when I thought about this last night, when I say controlled and contrived, I think that people think that because here's the thing, Chloe produced every song outside of two songs on this album, okay? One of the songs that she didn't produce was Worried. The second song, I believe it might be Cheat Back. I gotta go back and check that out. But I was studying her rollout. I was studying her interviews. I was studying what she was saying about the album. And she stated that she produced a majority of this album outside of two tracks. So I think that people are looking for more of a female artist who does not have as much creative freedom as Chloe has. Chloe has a lot of creative freedom. So I think that when she gets that criticism of like, because everyone keeps saying, who is your target audience? You don't understand your target audience. We do understand her target audience. She's a black woman. She's in her early mid-20s. We understand who she's trying to sell an album to. So when people say, who is your target audience? I kind of throw that out the window, because we know what she's trying to do. And it just, for me, I see why people are saying that, but I just think that there are holes in that particular criticism, in the fact of every artist is testing out the waters, especially for their debut album. And with Chloe is leaving a duo, Chloe and Halle. She's leaving a duo, right? That duo made specific music. So when she breaks solo, people are expecting, I really think people are holding on to her former image. So I think that plays a part in a lot of the outrage that she receives, especially with her expression of her sexuality and her femininity. And also, I think it's a little bit of her looks as well. I think seeing her have natural hair, I do think that there are a lot of people who are not used to seeing a black woman who is a pop star with natural hair, or a natural hairstyle. We haven't seen that to this caliber. Not saying that let me not compare levels, but what I'm saying is, like, when it comes to a black girl who is pop or mainstream, we have not really seen that since Brandy, in my opinion, of a black woman with a natural hairstyle outside of, extensions or a lace front or whatever. And so I think that's something that people miss when they pick apart her image and her look and even her sound of her music. I think that people do that to her in particular. And once again, I think that, just my personal opinion, I think that her affiliation with Beyonce and her comparisons to Beyonce set an incredibly high standard that she can, I don't want to say that she can't reach, but there is only one Beyonce Knowles in this world. You know, when you are an artist, there is only one of you, right? And I think that Chloe gets that, but it's clear that Chloe is definitely inspired by her mentor. She's super, super inspired by her mentor. Even on the album with certain tracks, the way she talks, I'm like, oh, this, okay, you were literally like mimicking, you know, Beyonce. You know what I mean? But I do think that that's purposely done. I think it's purposely done to get people to talk. Just my personal opinion. All right, that's enough of that. Oh, wait, and last critique before we get into the songs real quick. It's clear that she wants to be a vixen and a sex symbol, a female musical icon, and all of these icons. So I wrote this down last night, right? I stated that she wants to be a vixen, a sex symbol, a female musical icon. I wrote that down because I was watching her discuss her album on her promo run. I saw her on Big Boy. I watched like a few interviews just to study Chloe and cut out the fluff of other people saying what they think Chloe is, because what I've noticed is that there are a lot of people who are telling Chloe who she is as a artist, or they want her to be a certain way. So all of these criticisms, which some of them are valid, because I do think that you should listen to your audience, but I also think that we have to let artists give us their product. And I think that in today's age of instantaneous gratification in music, I think that we are so quick to just throw something out without really letting the project breathe. We don't do that with any artist, you know? So I think as an audience, with music, the way that it comes so fast and how you have to always have a social media factor to it, you always have to have some type of package and push behind it, because our attention spans are very short, all of us, literally. Studies literally show that the reason why artists such as Chloe, the reason why her songs are short, because a lot of her songs are under 2 minutes, or I'm sorry, under 3 minutes. So the reason why that occurs is because we all have short attention spans. People will go on Spotify or Apple Music and they will not play the full song through. They will literally play the first few seconds and go to the next song. So a lot of people cannot pay attention and actually sit down and listen to an album and study it. They just rush through the songs, listen to it one time. They don't let the album sit for a week or a month or 3 months. They just rush through it and then immediately give their feedback without allowing any records to grow on them, without allowing that creative growth that I think that a lot of artists should be given the ability to go through, versus just automatically calling the album a flop because she did 10,000 sales in her first week when she is still a new solo artist, right? She mentioned that she really wants her career to be laid out in a way of the greats, of a Janet, of a Beyonce, of pivotal Black women who are in touch with their sexuality and their sexual expression and their female and their feminine expression within their music. She has stated that that's something that she wants to do with her career and that she hopes translates. Okay, so that is something that Chloe definitely stated. Sorry, y'all. It's lip gloss on, and I'd be like, okay, it's nothing in my... I'm like, is this something on? Because I put lip gloss on. Ugh, sorry. Anyways, that's quite evident with the sex appeal, with the immediate change. And that's often what Chloe experiences, right? People will be like, oh my God, this is so drastic. Used to be a child star. Now you're a sex kitten. Now you're a sex symbol, right? But what people fail to understand is that all of these women have done it. Beyonce has done it. Rihanna has done it. Janet has done it. That is a formula. And I think that people did not expect Chloe to want that particular formula. So I think that that's where this outrage comes from. Sierra has done it. There is a certain power that a female artist has, regardless of her race, but in particular, in my opinion, if she's a Black female pop artist, where tapping into that sexuality definitely is a factor to the package of that particular pop artist. Now, I'm not saying that every Black female artist has to do that, or be sexy, or be raunchy, or be confident with their sexuality, be a sex kitten, be a sex symbol. Not every artist has to do that. Alicia didn't do that. Her doesn't do that. They might sing sexual things in their music here and there, but, not every Black female has to do that. But there are certain ones where you have to tap into that. You have to tap into controversy. You have to tap into those things. So, for me, I just think that goes over people's heads as they criticize her because they just throw her away. Okay, that's enough of my fucking rant on Chloe. Number one, someone's calling Chloe, that's the intro to the album. I gave it a rating of 5, possibly even 4 or 3, as it doesn't really fit the sound of the album, but the message is strong of this particular intro. So, though that I believe it opened up with a trumpet, and it opened up with her singing Chloe. That particular intro is a sample of Louis Armstrong's song. I believe it's called "Chloe Got Away" or something. Chloe, it's a sample of a song that has Chloe in the title, right? I think it's called "Chloe Got Away." I forgot the title. Apologies for that, y'all. But that is a sample from Louis Armstrong, who is a notable musical figure in jazz. And Chloe stated that her grandfather would sing that song to her a lot. And the song is about a man who was in search of his long lost lover, right? And it has Chloe in the particular title. Let me look up the full. Hold on, I want to see what the actual full title of that record is. But yeah, essentially, Chloe stated that her grandfather would sing that song to her, and he would sing it as she was a child, and she would always remember him singing that song. So she wanted that to open up her album because she thought to herself, I'm gonna use this one day. I'm gonna use this particular record one day. So yeah, that's the special part about In Pieces, which is why I gave it a 5. But another reason why I gave it a 5 is because I just didn't. It's a beautiful opening, right? When we think of an intro, you want to have an intro with meaning. The intro sets the tone for the album. So I could see the fair side of me is like, okay, I could see why you chose it because it has your name in it, and the album is called In Pieces. This song is about a man who's singing about his long lost lover named Chloe. And it's a Louis Armstrong sample because, Chloe studies. I think Chloe really, really studies. And I think that that's something that she picked up from her mentor is to study and figure out your messaging of your album so you can have a theme for the album. And the full record that from Louis Armstrong's 1952 jazz classic is called Chloe, Song of the Swamp, which, once again is about a lonely man searching for his lover of that particular name. So I could see why she chose that because when we think about the album, the title In Pieces, she's singing about heartbreak, and honestly, In Pieces has a very chaotic undertone to the album. It's an album that is sonically all over the place. I look at it as organized chaos in a way. Done in a feminine, soft way, but the album is a lot of emotion that's all over the place. And I think that's what she wanted to convey In Pieces, something that's shattered, right? She's holding a porcelain heart. She's dressed as a porcelain doll. And that even that image of the album, a lot of people did not like the album cover, but she took that from a famous painting of this girl who was a porcelain doll holding a heart, right? So there's a lot of metaphor and things and meaning, deeper meaning that I think Chloe was searching for. But maybe it was too literal a little bit. Maybe it was too literal, and I think that's why people didn't really care for the album cover. Me, I'm an artsy girl. For me, I'm kind of like, okay, as long as it has meaning, girl, I could get it. It's you. Because I like to encourage freedom of expression. Maybe that's the Aquarius in me. So I'm like, I might not always care for every choice that an artist makes, but if they are creative and if they can explain to me why they chose said album cover, I'll give it some respect. So I didn't care for the opening of the album. I gave it a 4 or a 5. Probably gonna keep it at a 4. Didn't care for the opening, and I'm gonna tell you why later because I think something else should have been an opener to this album. Number 2, Pray It Away. This song gets a 9 from me. I'm giving it a 9 because it wasn't long enough. But this is by far one of the strongest songs on the album. I could see why Chloe chose it as a single. I absolutely love Pray It Away. Pray It Away literally changed Chloe's sound, right? We had those singles from her like Have Mercy, Surprise, Treat Me. What was another one she had? For the Night with Lotto, right? We had those particular singles. And I think with Chloe, initially with those particular singles, she was listening to people and what they wanted and trying to figure out what can I give these people to let them know a different side of me, but still break my former image and walk away from this teeny bopper music from Chloe and Halle, right? I want to walk away from that because I'm a woman now. I want to show the fans that I'm a woman. I want to grow up a little bit. I want to be grown. You know, I want to own my sexuality. I want to be in touch with my feminine side. I want to be in touch with my emotions, and I just want to get it out. You know, Pray It Away, to me, I give it a 9. I really want to give it a 10, but I'm not giving it a 10 because it was too short. I love the message. The song was, although it was too short, it was sweet. It delivered. It gave us emotion. The bridge. Only thing I also didn't like was the beginning of it where she said F N word, F N word, F N word, F N word, right? When it comes to music, I could appreciate some vulgarity. Typically, I could. I don't mind a little profanity in music sometimes because they say that people who cuss, people who use profanity tend to be more honest and more transparent and more real. That is something that, you know, people say. You know, if you tend to curse a little bit, that means that you are more honest, you know? But for some reason with Pray It Away, when I watched the music video is the clean version of the song. I actually prefer the clean version of this song. And maybe it's because the song is called Pray It Away, but maybe it's because in the video, you know, the video is in a beautiful church. She's wearing all white. There was a little bit of a note to Formation a little bit in that video when she had the black brim hat on with the leather and stuff, but she still made it her own. But I like the clean version because for me, I feel like the clean version, when I heard it, I realized that I didn't need to have the FN word, FN word, FN word at the beginning of the song. I was kind of like, oh, Chloe, you don't have to do that. Because in the clean version, she opened up and she says, I get it, I get it, I get it. I just fell in love with a da-da-da. And the song is about her being disappointed and having to take that to God. And I really like that record because people always criticize this girl and say that they don't know who she is and all this stuff. But the point of music is to convey a message and be relatable, right? You want your listeners to feel like, damn, I could really relate to her. I'm going through that, or I went through that in the past, so I could use this song as a form of healing. I like Pray It Away. I give it a 9. Great song, great video, executed it lovely. Want to give it a 10. But this song is beautiful. The clean version is better to me. I don't know why, but the clean version of that Pray It Away, it executes better to me. I don't know why it does, but the clean version, I prefer it over the explicit version. Body Do. She opened up that record with have you ever wondered who's effing your man, or have you ever wondered who's fucking your man? That's what she opened up the song with. Once again, she had that tone of her mentor, talking like her mentor, because that literally sounded, you know, as I listen to Chloe, I try my best to take Beyonce out of the equation. Because for me, I'm like, no, you are Chloe Bailey. You are not her, right? So even for me, I'm always telling myself, do not look for Beyonce in her because she tends to emulate and be inspired a lot, which is fine. Be inspired, but it's to the point sometimes where I'm like, I have to tell myself to let Beyonce go. When I listen to her, I'm not searching for Beyonce. I'm searching for Chloe. Because people keep saying, we don't know who Chloe is. So I'm like, you know what, look, I'm going to search for her because y'all keep saying y'all don't know who she is, child. And I feel like there is something there in her. I just feel like she's trying to figure it out. Body Do gets an 8. It's a pure pop record. It's fun. I cannot wait to see the full video. It's very upbeat. It's fun. It's free. I think it's more of a like, because the lyrics, she's talking about basically how I don't trust you. I know that you're not any good, but I know what that body do. You get what I'm saying? And basically, it's more so her just chanting of like, this is not a healthy situation, child. But I know what that body do. I know what that body do, and I want to see what that body do. I know what my body do, right? So I think it's her just admitting to her toxicity. And here's the thing. We live in an age of a SZA. We live in the age of the Summer Walkers. We live in the age of hers, H-E-R, singer hers, Jhené Aiko. Those girls have a level of rawness in R&B. Even Ari Lennox, they have, in Money Long, they have a level of raw in R&B. So where sometimes, even though they're vocalizing and things, that level of rawness, it conveys so well because they are a little bit toxic in their music. People love toxic music. We do. And let me not just say toxic. We gravitate to songs that are very raw and painful and also admitting your flaws. And I think that Body Do is a fun poppy way of doing that, and it's pure pop, and I see exactly why she dropped Body Do. And I actually really really like Body Do, and I cannot wait to see the video. I don't mind. I give this song about a 6 or a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 actually. It's a very cute bop. It's super refreshing, fun, but it doesn't catch me like that. Whenever I hear I Don't Mind, I always go over to Worried. I don't know why. I have listened to I Don't Mind a few times. I'm not saying it's a bad song, but it's an album filler to me. And maybe it'll grow on me. You know, I was on Twitter and someone was saying how it reminded them of Toni Braxton's The Heat, which it does. I was like, oh yeah, it does kind of have a Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton has a song called The Heat off of her album. I think it's her third album. It's called The Heat. And that's the lead, the you know, the self-title, or the, sorry, that's the album title for her third album, but also one of the songs on her album. It's called The Heat, and that is a sexy, beautiful, fun song. So, you know, I Don't Mind reminds me of that. And but for some reason I skipped this song. But I feel like I Don't Mind will grow on me. It's not a bad song, it's fun. It's super refreshing, it's super sexy, but for some reason I always skip that record. I always do. But I listened to it a few times. It might be a grower, not a shower. Okay, number 5, Worried. Gets a 9. This is produced by Metro Boomin. Wonderful song. She took this record to respond to all the criticism and just call people out. It's a very clear, direct message. She talking that gang on this record. She basically saying, why are you worried about me? You sitting here talking all this shit all day long. So Chloe, I think Chloe gets a lot of judgment because she's so sweet and demure. So I think that when people see that, they expect that all the time. And then when you get to that studio, you let it all out and you check these girls and you let them know. This is Chloe's moment to do that. I think it's a very uplifting sound. It sounds refreshing. I love the instrumental of the song. It sounds sweet, and she doesn't give a fuck, right? Only criticism I have for this record is that her flow, the way that she talks, her flow, she does that Beyonce rap thing. Once again, I hate to compare, but it's so evident. It's so evident. Still a great song though, but she does that where she's flowing and she's not really singing, she's like rapping. Like that and Beyonce does that when she's rapping, you know? So I think this is why Chloe gets this criticism, because it's like, girl, we just want you to sing. We know you can sing. Why are you trying to rap? You know what I mean? Even Beyonce gets that criticism. Like, there are times where I don't want to hear Beyonce rap. I'm like, Beyonce, I want you to sing. Why are you rapping? You were not rap. No, I want to hear you sing. But I do get that music these days, you know, shout out to Drake, who is kind of on my list because he dissed Megan Thee Stallion. I don't really care for him no more. But I think Drake kind of set that tone of like, and Nicki Minaj, but more so Drake, where you do that rap singing thing. So now everyone does that. Even female art like her does that a lot. I'm like, why are you rapping? Sing. I do not want to hear you rap. You know, no shade. I want to hear you sing. So if you really pay attention, a lot of the females, a lot of the, female artists, they do that. They do that talk, singing, rapping thing, but it is something that is catchy and it does sell. She did that a lot in the song. Her flow is very similar to her mentors. I hate to compare because Chloe is Chloe and Beyonce is Beyonce. But she was chanting a certain way where I'm like, okay, it's giving me, Wake Up Flawless Tease a little bit with the chanting and the, you know, Beyonce does that in her record. She chants and she'll kind of flow and rap a little bit and talk sing. Number 6, Falling For You. I give it a 10. I love Falling For You. This gets a 10. It's a cute interlude. I consider it an interlude. I think it should have been a full song. I think it should have been a full record. At certain points, here's the thing about Falling For You. For me, Falling For You is left field. This album is a very left field album. It's a very left field album. Chloe refers to it as a body of work, you know, but it's a very left field album. The sound is all over the place, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And, but with Falling For You, I actually like it. It's such a random left field record, but I like it and it makes sense, for the In Pieces theme. It's it's funny. It made me think of my inner feminist. It's this audio recording of a woman cussing out this guy, or just not cussing. She wasn't cussing out the guy, but she was just saying how like she's not going to deal with certain things as a woman and her expectations as a woman. And she's saying, I'm not about to fuck and suck and clean and suck and do all this. I'm not about. And she's talking in this Jamaican accent. I love it. It's everything. Like this Caribbean accent is hilarious. Oh my God, I am a little sick with allergies. That's why I'm like, my voice is sounding like this. I'm a little stuffy. Forgive me, sorry. But I really like this because of the cussing. It's a mess. I love it. It's great. It fits. And she said that was actually her godmother. She said her godmother and her, I believe, another male family member, and her and Hallie were in the car driving back from some event or something like that. And her godmother was like cussing up a storm and going off because they were having this debate about, gender, the battle of the sexes and a woman's role and a man's role. So her godmother was like popping off like, I'm not about to do all this. I'm not about to cook and suck and fuck and do all this. You're going to wash my feet. For some reason, I was like cackling laughing when I heard this interlude because it just caught me off guard from Chloe. And I was like, oh, Chloe, this is catching me off guard, but I actually really like this interlude. And it ended with It's My Choice, which to me taps into that feminist undertone of, female autonomy, things like that. So she's tapping into female autonomy and female choice and, it's my choice, a woman's choice over her body and her time and her energy. I really like it. It's great. I support that message 100%. 7, How Does It Feel featuring Chris Brown. I give it a rating of 10. Do not shoot me down. I do not support Chris Brown and his domestic stuff. I don't support that. But I see exactly why she put Chris Brown on the song, because if Chloe received a lot of backlash, but Ella Mai didn't receive backlash for her multiple collaborations with Chris Brown. Her didn't receive backlash for her collaboration or collaborations with Chris Brown. Chris Brown has literally collaborated with a majority of Black female artists. He has collaborated with Jhené Aiko, Brandy. He's collaborated with a lot of people, Chris Brown is a talented male artist. So he is one of the very few that can actually get you a hit. No shade. A lot of the Black male R&B artists, they just don't really have that staying power that Chris Brown does. They just don't. And we could attune that to Chris Brown's fan base. He has an extremely loyal fan base. For me, I like Chloe, so I like the song. You get what I'm saying? I'll leave it there, but I do think that the backlash that she got was a little like a lot. But I think it's because people see Chloe as like this good girl, this virtuous girl. You know what I mean? And honestly, I just think she doesn't want to be seen that way. I think she really wants to be creatively free. So I think this album and this song and, I think she's just asking to be like, dang, like y'all let all these other girls do their thing. Like, let me just do my thing. Like y'all calling me corny, y'all saying all this stuff, but just let me like express myself and get this stuff out. But I think people just saw that vulnerability in her and they just don't feel like it's natural. They feel like it's very forced. I don't think it's forced. I think she's doing this as a way to not only express herself, but also shock value. Controversy sells. Controversy sells. Every child star goes through this. Nothing new under the sun. This is a typical formula, and I just really wish people would get that and leave her alone. This is a formula that every child star, especially female artists, go through, where they break that former image, and it's like, I'm growing up now, I'm loose, I'm wild, I don't give a you know what I mean? I gave it a 10. I think it's a very strong feature. The message was very clear. I like the record. It taps into my emotions. A lot of people were saying that, or a lot of the criticism, which I tried my best to avoid, y'all. But there was some feedback of like, Chloe just doesn't stand out from Chris Brown, things like that. I could definitely kind of see that. I wanted more vocal runs from Chloe. I feel like on her verse, she didn't give enough and Chris gave more. But Chloe gave, she did a few runs, but I think on the actual verse, I wanted some more. I wanted more. I feel like it was, that record, it's a good song. I give it a 10, but that record has a level of emptiness that is there. I could see that. I could see that, but I still give it a 10. I think it's a great song. I think it's a great song. I gave it a 10, and it's exactly why she chose it as a single. The video was excellent. The video was great. She looked amazing. And I think it's a very strong feature, and it also I feel like she holds back vocally on songs on purpose, kind of like how Beyonce does. Because there are songs that Beyonce does where I'm like, Beyonce, you're clearly holding back. Like, you are clearly dialing yourself back because we know that you can sing your face off. I feel like Chloe does the same thing because she also wants a poppy sound, a very pop sound. Number 8, Feel My Cry. It's an excellent moody pop R&B sound. I think that a feature should be on this song as well, such as The Weeknd or Miguel. I see The Weeknd on this record. It's a very poppy song, a very pop R&B song. Also, too, I kind of wish Halle was on the record. Because when I heard Feel Me Cry, I was like, oh, I want Halle on here. It made me want Halle as well. I think we either needed a male or a female feature for this record. Chloe can hold her own by herself. But for some reason, I wanted a feature for this song. It's a great song. My rating of this song, I gave it a 7 because it's a good song, but I feel like it falls short. It falls short. I think this record is a grower, not a shower as well. Because it reminds me of a song that should have been on, Ungodly Hour. Number 9, Make It Look Easy. I give it an 8. Once again, she talks like her mentor again when she opens a song. But I get it. When you talk on a song, you're talking to your audience. You know what I mean? Like when I'm at home listening to this, I want to feel, when an artist is talking, it's like you want to feel. I want to emote, you know? So I think that, that's the goal of that. It's a strong emotional record. I think it's great. She emoted well on this song. And here's the thing. People keep thinking that they don't know Chloe, and people are like, we don't know you yet. We don't know you yet. And I just feel like people want an outrageous personality. You know, we live in a social media era where we've seen people like Cardi B, who has sort of this ability to sell personality. And not every artist is meant to do that. I think that that's difficult for a lot of artists to translate, such as Chloe. Someone translating their authentic personality when they are not that way, or they keep that private. Because, you know, all of us have a private self, and I think that Chloe struggles with that. And I also think that Chloe is listening to her mentor. I think Chloe is kind of like, no, I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you. I'm going to be private to keep you talking. But where Chloe falls short is the time period that we live in. Everyone wants your business these days. Everyone wants transparency. Everyone wants a personality. And I think that's why artists such as Chloe and even Normani struggle, because the newer age of listeners, they're not just happy with the music anymore. They literally want all of you. They want to see you every day. They don't understand that certain people want a private life. So a lot of listeners don't even older, you know, millennials my age, and Gen Zs and like, we don't know what that is to kind of have that level of distance from your music. And I think that Chloe is trying to create a level of distance from her music where it's like, look, I'm going to give you the art. I care about my fans, but I need distance because y'all are not going to mess up my piece. There are certain things I want to keep to myself. So I think she's trying to follow in those footsteps, and it's difficult to do in this day and age. You know, artists like Beyonce come from a different time period where you had the ability to have mystery. These days, it sucks because there is no mystery anymore. There's absolutely... some artists have mystery, like, you know, they manage how to do it because their music is just so great. But overall, having mystery as an artist is something that's really, really difficult to do. And I think people feel that they don't know Chloe because they just don't get her. But they're also not allowing her the space to just be herself, you know? People are really wanting a personality behind it that just is not there. It's not there. It's not there. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have a personality, because she does. But she's not selling her personality, y'all. You know, so this is where we gotta just get. I kind of feel for her because I'm like, can we just focus on the music? Number 10, Lose You. I really like Lose You. Lose You is a cute. It's an emotional bop. It sounds very teeny boppy. It reminds me of like something from the early 2000s. I like it. It's kind of reminds me of like Cheetah Girls, kind of. I really like that feel of Lose You. Um, Good lyrics. It is an album filler. I gave it a 6. Actually, no. Let me not be too hard on Lose You. I'll give Lose You a 7. But I think it's an album filler. It's a great song. It fills the album. It gives me Cheetah Girls vibes. I really like it, actually, but I give it a 7. 11 is Told Ya, featuring Missy Elliott. It's a fun feature. I'm a big Missy Elliott supporter. I love Missy Elliott. It's catchy. I did not like the instrumental of the song. The instrumental and the hook was so... I didn't care for it. I did not care for the hook. I liked Missy's verse. I like Chloe's verse. The verses were great. It's a positive record. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. Oh my God, I do not like the hook. They could have came up with a better hook. Oh my God, the chorus, I don't like it. I don't like it. But I still gave it a 7 because the verses were great. Missy Elliott definitely did her thing on this record. I like it. The hook is so annoying. It is an annoying hook. And normally I'm pretty open to different sounds and stuff, but I don't know why I wish they would have had a different instrumental and a different hook for this song. But it is still a song that I play, which is why I gave it a 7. I do play this song. I think it's cute. I think it's positive and upbeat. But it kind of reminds me of Megan Thee Stallion's Body. Body yada 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 yada. I love Megan Thee Stallion, and I think that's a great song. I think it fits her brand. It's good. But I can't listen to it all the time. I play it sometimes when I'm getting ready to go out. And maybe Told Ya is a record like that. I thought I told you, bitch, I'm a soldier. I thought I told you, bitch, I'm a soldier. I thought I told you. It's repetitive. I wanted a better hook. Great song, though. Number 7. I give it a rating of 7. Cheat Back. Do not like the song. I give it a rating of 4. I do not like the song on the album. I'm pretty fair, though. I look at Cheat Back as her version of Irreplaceable. It's a like that acoustic alternative vibe. I see why she went this route. It's called Shock Value. She had Future on it. But I thought of Irreplaceable. I thought of If I Were a Boy, actually. Sorry, not Irreplaceable. Yeah, it gave me Irreplaceable / If I Were a Boy vibe. That's what I get. Sort of like, I'm gonna do it back to you. It's that same formula. So I see why she chose Cheat Back. Because the way that Chloe is being promoted, they're promoting her, and honestly, I think Beyonce is in on it too. They're purposely promoting her this way on purpose, you all. So when people give Chloe this feedback of like, oh, she's trying to be like Beyonce, Beyonce is aware of that. Y'all don't think she's aware? She's very aware of that. She's okay with it. That's her mentor. This is what gets people talking. Oh, there's a new Beyonce? Let's see. It gets people going because Beyonce is not done making music. You know what I mean? So I see why they do that. I don't like the song Cheat Back. I get why she did it. I think the vocals are great on the song. She did great vocally. I don't like the song. I do not like the song as a single as well. They're promoting it as a single because Future's on it. I don't like the song. I don't like the song. I don't like Cheat Back. I don't know why. Cheat Back just does not do it for me. I gave it a 4, probably even a 3. I do not like the song. But the vocals are great on that song, and I can still say that. Number 13 is Heart in My Sleeve. Now, let's get back to the intro. I think Heart on My Sleeve, sorry about that. Heart on My Sleeve should have opened up this album, and let me tell you why. It's super short, super sweet. Got my heart on my sleeve, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I love her vocals. She sounds very powerful. I think that this interlude or this small song showed us the vocals. And I think that sometimes on Chloe's records, she kind of holds back on the vocals. When it's like, give us more vocals, sis. Like, give us the vocal. Like, oh, like even with our girl B, there are times where I love Beyonce. But there are times where I hear the talk rapping and the talk singing and I'm like, oh, can you sing? Oh, I want you to sing. But I understand that singers have this trappy flow thing that does work and it does sell albums because, rap and hip hop is like number one, So even some of the female artists who are singers have to kind of tone it down and dial it back and honestly dumb down their vocals in a way. And I'm not saying that Chloe and Beyonce dumb themselves down. What I'm saying is vocally, I feel like they kind of dial it back just to fit with the times and be super catchy. Because I do think when it comes to pop, a lot of people do not appreciate those powerhouse or those runny vocalists. It just doesn't always fit pop music all the time. They just don't get it, in my opinion. I think this would have been a great intro to the album. I think Heart on My Sleeve lays out this project. I think that the intro should be completely taken away. I don't know why. Like, I get why she chose it because it has her name, but honestly, no. Last track, In Pieces, is the title of the album as well. In Pieces is a ballad. You know, every artist has to have their ballad moments. In Pieces, you know, she's playing the piano with the red locks. For some reason, In Pieces also has that empty feel to it to me. Although it is a beautiful song with a beautiful message, I could see it for that. Full transparency, I'm gonna give it like a 6 or a 7. But I do appreciate her playing playing the piano and really giving us that emotion of it. And potentially, In Pieces will grow on me as well. Potentially, it'll grow on me. But honestly, I don't think that should have been on the album. I don't think it should have been on the album. And honestly, I kind of wish Chloe had a better album title. In Pieces is cute and sweet. It's a very short album. This album feels like a debut, but also a test, like a test run. And Chloe even said that she had a lot of anxiety and she kind of had an identity crisis recording this album, you know, because she wasn't with her sister. So she's been very transparent in her interviews about how she's been navigating being a solo artist and how she even felt uncomfortable at some points. So I could totally respect her artistry, and I really admire Chloe for being a female producer and working with female engineers. Like, genuinely, I think it's great. And I think that she is an album girl, and I think that she at least had a theme. And that's a lot of female artists just don't have themes. They don't really have themes like that. They don't do a good job of themes, you know? So she's learning from her mentor. I think for her, she's like, I have a theme In Pieces, right? Overall, I think it's a good debut album. Are there any memorable tracks? I think this is where Chloe gets a lot of that unnecessary backlash. I do think that we have to let this album breathe a little bit. And honestly, I think this is sort of like it's a debut where people set an extremely high expectation of her. And I just feel that honestly, all of the backlash she got kind of hurt her before the album came out. That's just personally what I think. I think that when people all decided that they did not like her because of X, Y, and Z, because they feel like she's dramatic and she's extra, for some reason, I feel like a lot of this criticism and backlash that she has gotten also kind of, I don't want to say set her up for failure, because I don't think she failed. Even with selling 10,000 copies, I love music. I don't care if an artist sells or not. If I like the music, I like it. You know what I mean? I get that sales are important to make money. But I really see a lot of promise in Chloe. I do. I see a lot of promise in her. And I think she'll be fine. I can't wait to see how this plays out with her tour and stuff. I also think that this album needs to breathe more. It needs to breathe more. And I want her to release a deluxe, because I feel like there's other songs that she pulled off that may have been stronger than the ones that she put on the album. That's my review for In Pieces by Chloe. Thank you for watching my video. Drop down in the comments and tell me, what were your favorite tracks on In Pieces? What did you think about the album? What did you think of my commentary on this or this album review? This was so fun. I do support Chloe and I do like her as an artist. And I do feel like the bashing is a bit excessive of her. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of her mentor. I do think that, for me, and I'll wrap it up here because this is long as shit. I want a new Black female pop talent. And I feel that the industry, I'm not working at a record label or anything like that, but what I can say is that there's something going on with the newer Black pop girls, like a Tinashe, like a Normani. And Tinashe is not even new. Tinashe's been out since 2014, right? But there's something going on with these Black women who do pop, where for some reason maybe their teams or their record labels just don't believe in them. And not only that, I feel like the industry does not believe in having a newer black pop girl. I think that we are still searching for a Rihanna or a Beyonce, and we just have to understand that there will never ever be another Beyonce and a Rihanna. I wish I could like scream that into the universe, because I feel like a lot of the fans so badly want newer girls to have that, and it cannot be done. But I do want a new black female pop talent that is completely fresh, has their own ideas, takes the world by storm. It's okay to be inspired. Be inspired, but make it your own. Thank you for watching. This was so fun. All right. Bye.